This is an interesting statement that this young man made in relation to a different video that I made. Now, he says that the Bible accounts for in the beginning, meaning that the Bible is the beginning of time. Well, if you look at most of the creation stories around the world, just like the Bible says in the beginning, God was hovering over the waters, and that the world was in chaos, meaning a matter world was already in pre-existence. When you look at other creation stories, if you're willing, let me say, to look at other creation stories, you will see that most of them start out very similarly. The Hopi Indians, for example, they started out with the world was in chaos over the waters, and then Tawa, the mother goddess in a sense, came and created a first version, a second version, and then a third version. By the time that she came back from the second to the third version, man had evolved from the wolves and the bears. And then the Hopi came in the fourth version. That's why they believe they're in the fourth earth. Now, when you look at the Slavic story, which is a European story, they started out with God was floating on the chaotic waters, and then the devil came up from the waters, and God and the devil got together because neither could create the world by themselves, because of duality is a big aspect of their belief. Then they got together, had a conversation, made a little bit of land, had a conversation, didn't go good. God went up into the heavens. The devil stayed here on the earth, but God liked expanding the land, and so he separated the firmament. In the Kemetic story, Egyptian for those who call it that, in the Kemetic story, you had the Ogdo. Now, some of these stories vary. They change over time. Depending upon who's ruling, the stories change. Just like we see that through Christianity and all other religions, depending upon who's ruling, the doctrine has changed and the words have changed. And the stories have changed. But anyhow, the Ogdo, which is a consciousness, a full consciousness, broken up into 4 parts, and then those 4 parts are broken into 8 parts, each part containing a masculine and feminine. Through that understanding, Ra was formed from the cosmic egg. Basically, Ra implanted himself by himself to himself into a cosmic egg, and then was born without a mother. Sounds familiar. But, so he has no mother, no father. Then Ra was the first formation in the material world. Now, of course, the Kemetic story has varied depending upon who was the pharaoh, what era we're talking about. In the same way, the Babylonian story has changed as far as the creation, when it goes from you're talking about Anu and Tiamat, and then you can talk about how Marduk in the Babylonians in the 7th century was glorified as the one who fought Tiamat, destroyed Tiamat, and then created the world. So all of them starts in some form of chaos. Even in the Kemetic story, Ra has 3 children, Jeb, Nut, and Jeb and Nut was in an embrace, and then Shu, the wind, had to come in and separate them from their embrace.